Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Tubela, Dumelang, Goeiemiddag. By virtue of power invested in me as Acting Rector and Vice-Chancellor, I hereby constitute this congregation of the University of the Free State for the awarding and conferring of qualifications in the Faculty of Education. I therefore award and confer qualifications to all the candidates that the Dean of Education presents to this congregation today. In addition, I hereby award and confer qualifications to those whose names appear in the program, but who are not present here today. You may be seated. It gives me great pleasure to welcome each and every one of you at this wonderful occasion today on behalf of the University of the Free State. Today is a joyous occasion, celebration, and for all those graduandi, their parents, their families, their friends, their guardians, and the staff who taught them, welcome today. This day marked a sense of achievement and atmosphere of celebration. For many in the audience today, this event marks a culmination of a great deal of hard work and in many cases sacrifices, whether financial or emotional. There will be many here today who are the first in their family to obtain a university qualification, and we're proud of you for doing that. The University of Free State strives to contribute to the students' development by conferring not just a degree or a diploma or a certificate, but we embed a set of values that hopefully will set our graduates apart from those delivered by other universities. We hope that you will become a worthy citizen of South Africa, economically as well as intellectually. Some of the values that we embed in our graduates is the critical inquiry and the receptiveness for alternative ideas, social responsiveness, social service, and integrity. These will be the value framework that will support your professional life. And remember, you need to strive to them. So to all of you, welcome and celebrate this achievement of the loved one that came with you today.
Dumelang, Sanibonani, More, good morning. It's good afternoon. We were testing whether you're ready. The acting rector, Dr. Angela van Staden, our guest of honor, Mr. Khoza, academics, colleagues, good afternoon. Graduations are momentous occasions when we celebrate the journeys that our students and staff have taken together in the pursuit of knowledge as we attempt to acquire knowledge that will be resourceful for development, personal, communal, societal, but also global knowledge. Higher education institutions, whether in South Africa, in the Free State Province, and in the global community, have the aim and obligation of the formation of intellectuals, those who use knowledge for advancing societies. As we celebrate the graduations, we would like to invite you to take cognizance of some of the principles which we feel will enable all of us to celebrate the candidates that we have come to honor in these graduations. These principles are important for us to all leave the graduations at the end feeling a sense of satisfaction that those we came to honor have actually been honored. So I'd like to make the following principles and values that we abide by at the University of the Free State, to share them with you so that we can make this a really momentous and joyous celebration. The first is that the university makes use of official photographers who are present in the hall today. However, areas on campus have been allocated to a number of freelance photographers for the purpose of photographing graduates. These photographers are not accredited by the university, and the university has no control over the quality of their photographs. Those who arrived after the pre-ceremony announcement are asked to refer to the bottom of page 2 of your graduation program, so that at least you can also familiarize yourself with what is entailed there. Today is time to celebrate the achievements of each graduate. Hearing the full names of a candidate when they are announced is quite important for everybody. We therefore request you to limit the cheers and loud remarks so that we allow the next student or the next candidate to also have their moment of celebration. We are not saying do not celebrate or ululate. We are only requesting you to be attentive to a candidate at hand. We also request that you refrain from leaving the hall before the end of proceedings to avoid at least some disturbances to the program. Therefore, please, if it's possible, we really request you to do so. In the 21st century, we know that a lot of you use your devices, such as telephones and others, to continue the business, whether it's co-parenting or parenting or your businesses. But we request you to at least put your phones in silence so that the celebrations go at hand. But I thought before we started, it would be important to share one of the important quotes that the former president of South Africa shared about the importance of higher education. He says, "Education is the great engine for personal development. It is through education that a daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that a son of a mine worker can become a head of a mine, that a child of a farm worker can become a president of a great nation. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given, that separates one person from one another." And the value of education is also celebrated by the actress Hepburn, who says, "A quality education has power to transform societies in a single generation. It can provide children with protection they need for the hazards of poverty, labor exploitation, and disease. It can give them knowledge, skills, and the resilience or confidence to reach their full potential." As we celebrate today's graduation, we therefore request you to make that mark. At this point, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, a teacher by profession, Godwin Khoza. He started his tertiary education and training in the 1990s and earned a Bachelor of Arts in Education from the University of the North after graduating from Risinga High School. He then completed his honors degree in geography at the University of South Africa before enrolling for a postgraduate diploma in public policy and administration at the University of the Witwatersrand. Mr. Khoza completed a master's degree in management, public and development management, after which his career soon reached significant heights in the field of education. He is a leading, and his current position is the Chief Executive Officer of the National Education Collaboration Trust. I would like you to celebrate him as he comes to the podium to address us. You're welcome, Mr. Godwin, to address us. Thank you.
To Professor Lenkabula, the Programs Director, allow me to recognize and greet, firstly, the Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Staden, and Rector, of course, the host Dean, Professor Jita, who I suppose is very excited to see his students of many years pass through. I also want to recognize and greet the university executive and the academia and the staff. And I think more importantly, the graduandees. I'm quite aware that the 500 plus, now to be former students of the University of Free State, are not the only ones graduating today. Joining them are their parents. Because when it happens that way, graduations become a big source of joy amongst parents. I want to thank the university for asking me in some way to join the staff to send off students who have come to the university to study. And I also want to welcome that very opportunity to send off these people back to the world to contribute in the well-being of our fellow South Africans and the prosperity of our country. Program Director, let me properly introduce myself by adding one or two lines on who the National Education Collaboration Trust is, the organization that I head at the moment. In 2012, August, this country adopted the National Development Plan. As we have seen before, there are plans that this country has adopted, and some of the plans and the intentions that are in those plans were actually left unattended, particularly those that required government, business, labor, civil society to come together to see to their implementation. This time around, a group of people representing government, business, labor, and civil society came together to agree to set up a structure in the form of the National Education Collaboration Trust to take care of the implementation of Chapter 9 of the National Development Plan, whose focus is education and training. The focus of the National Education Trust is to work with all concerned to improve the work of education around 6 thematic areas, starting with a deep and complex but necessary area of intervention we chose to call teacher professionalization. This is a concept I need not to explain or explicate any further to a South African who at one stage would have been part of the education system or send their children to our education system. It's a much needed area of improvement. The second thematic area is the promotion of courageous and effective leadership, right from the classroom to the highest level of the system, be that the office of the Director General or the minister concerned. The third is building the capacity of the state to deliver improved quality education. The fourth is improving the resourcing of our education system. Fifth is improving community and parent involvement, an area that our education system or the country as a whole take for granted. I will haste to say that most of the good results in our education system are a result of how the household comes into partnership with schools to support the education of their children. The last but not least, it's an area we chose to coin learner welfare. Those who are in education, and of course those who are graduating today, and their respective lecturers, will know how important it is for learners to be well fed, for learners to be psychologically prepared in order for them to learn optimally. The National Education Collaboration Trust was thus founded in July 2013, and we've recently celebrated our 5-year mark, at which point we had achieved a target of working with about 70% of the schools in the country, which is in the north of 15,000 schools out of the 25,000 schools or so that we have. Today is not the time for me to talk about the National Education Collaboration Trust. Today, it's the time for me to use what we have observed and learned through the National Education Collaboration Trust as a basis on which to invite new teachers into the field of teaching and new actors into the education sector. We are indeed gathered here to witness the passing of the many fresh teachers that we've recently produced, but also the refreshed educationists who may have come back for more knowledge from the university. So, Vice Chancellor, I want to say that I was the subject of the same occurrence some 25 or 26 years ago. So I too was wearing the hood and whatever not you are wearing today. And there are two fond memories that do not leave me of that day. The first is that I was tapped on the head by the icon, Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, who was then the Vice Chancellor of the University of the North. What an excitement, and how timely was my graduation. The tapping being an act of conferring a degree in the same field that you are graduating in today. That is to become a teacher. So the second memory, it's actually when Mandela shared a joke, or rather, what later on proved to be a joke, because only the academia laughed at the joke, and none of us who were graduating could catch the joke. The unfortunate part is that I don't remember the content of the joke, but it worries me that none of us could, catch the joke. But I must say that when I graduated, I was ill-prepared for what I later saw. In my journey of looking for a job, in my journey of finding space in a staff room, in the classroom itself, in the search for and identity, in finding identity vis-a-vis the ethos of the school, and in the teaching profession, at large, not least in finding an incentive for me to wake up every day and look forward to another teaching day. And I therefore think that it is appropriate for me to reflect on some of the things that you are going to see, not with a reason to scare you, but rather with a reason to help you to better prepare to engage with the real life of teaching. I think you'll meet the same challenges, and you'll need to be armed with very strong personalities to stay the professional course and to achieve the desired impact and to grow in the process. So I have therefore chose to theme my talk today as the challenges of teaching the nation and staying the course. Indeed, the challenges are multi-layered, they are multi-phased, they are multi-textured, they are mostly dependent on the spectacles that the observer wears. And many are the spectacles that you'll have to choose from. So I move from the premise that as South Africans, we should have the same baseline, share the same vision and understanding of where we want to take this country to. I am not, rather, for a minute proposing a homogeneous society, but I have serious, I must say, serious problems with those who deliberately put on disseminate or share lenses that produce short-sightedness or that showed skewed pictures, particularly if they are enlightened people. So all I'm saying is that you will meet a lot of those people whose main concern and business is to make as many South Africans share or wear glasses that are short-sighted. That is perhaps the first challenge that you're going to meet. You are going to walk into a sector where everyone is an expert simply because they've once been in a classroom or their children go to school. They have lots of advices, they know better than you do, even though you've spent many years studying the field of education. You're going into a sector where the leaders, researchers have no solutions, but offer a lot of criticisms. They criticize learners for not learning. They criticize learners for being uneducable, and their teachers for being incompetent. So the unfortunate part of being a teacher is that all the social ills from the household and the community come into the school, and it's the teacher who has to deal with them. So it's not an easy way, in the same way that we cannot argue that low progression rates and graduation rates at universities are entirely the result of inputs into the universities, that is from the basic schooling system. But simply investing time to blame and degrade lecturers and the university system to the point that staff and students lose their confidence will not solve the problem other than exacerbate it. And the logic that I'm putting here, or the proposal that I'm putting here, is that South Africans have spent a lot of time and effort criticizing themselves, and in fact getting to a point where the learners and the teachers and the entire system stop to believe in themselves. And I think it's one of the big mistakes that we're making to pull down the education system. Our education system has challenges, no doubt, but not the worst of the worst in the world. And there are teachers and officials who still give their all to see improvements and go all out of their way to ensure that our learners learn in schools. The truth is, and the truth I would like you to embrace and perhaps put around your necks, is that the glass is never half full, or rather never half empty or quarter empty. The glass is always half full, or quarter full instead. The public education system still provides for 95% of the under 13 million learners in our country. The private sector and the private schools, which complement this capacity that we have, will never, in the foreseeable future, be able to provide the education service to this level of magnitude. So we should not fool ourselves and degrade the public schooling system, or start to attach less value to the public schooling system. In fact, I hope that majority of you would actually go out and teach in the public schooling system, because we need good teachers in the public schooling system as well. Having said that, I need to indicate that it's not all good and shiny in the public schooling system. To give you a few examples, the first being that the level of effort in schools is much, much, much lower than expected. Small things like time management is a challenge to many teachers, which leads to low levels of curriculum coverage and cause cumulative under-preparation of learners from one grade to the other. And therefore, that's why by the time we get our kids to the end of the education system, they know much less than they're supposed to know. Just to give you an example, we have found in some schools that teaching winds down in the last week of May with staff purporting to be preparing for examinations. I mean, what bothers me is that even in primary schools and even in foundation phase, teachers would have stopped teaching by the last week of May. In the context where schools close in the middle of June, all purporting to be preparing for examinations. So I think what's called for here is to find the magic of getting each and every teacher commit to what they're supposed to do each and every day. The idea, of course, is not to criticize, but to always use data to identify gaps and to propose solutions. I think that the nation needs to join hands to imbue a culture of a winning nation amongst our teachers and learners. And one of the things that we may have to do is to start appreciating teachers and attaching a little more value on our teachers and learners. There's one, other challenge that you're going to face as you walk into the classrooms and schools is that the relevance of what we have to teach has and continues to change. In fact, the whole world is wondering how to teach our kids and prepare them for the 21st century or the fourth industrial revolution as it's put out. The fourth industrial revolution should go beyond just providing computers and enabling our learners and our young people to use computers. In fact, to educationists, the fourth industrial revolution should require of us to stop providing world maps to our children and equip them with abilities to navigate an ever-complicating world. So it was enough to know how to read a map 15, 20 years ago. There's no necessity at all. So, Google Maps is there and many other applications that one can use to navigate the world. But I'm using that as an analogy, which applies in many fields. No more should we just give our young people information and knowledge. We need to equip them with the ability to, on their own, navigate the world. So we need to start teaching in a manner that promotes cross-disciplinarity. So there must be nothing wrong in getting our kids to learn mathematics and arts at the same place. It's a combination that we would not agree to some 20 years ago, but it's certainly some combinations that we should allow our kids to explore and venture in the 21st century. Life skills such as creativity, communication, collaboration, and critical thinking need to start taking the center stage of education. And those can be taught across all the subjects. Added to that, it's actually, however complex it is, approaching the need to teach very intangible competencies such as compassion and resilience, because these are the kind of competencies that our young people will require in order to manage the ever-complicating world. The last area I suggest we should include in our teaching, it's actually focusing on meta-learning to enable our learners to ever be able to learn and to be flexible enough to know that there isn't one truth and the truth may change from time to time. These were not the characteristics of the 19th century education that we received. Thirdly, those of you who will not go directly into the classroom or will one day pass the classroom and go into research, I want to say that research is very critical in education, improvement and development. But in this country, unfortunately, research is skewed. Research is skewed in many terms. It is skewed along the racial lines. It is skewed along racial, geographic patterns, and also in socio-economic terms. So those who are going to go into research, go and try and find references to research by various universities from various geographic locations and try and find a pattern from references from various racial groups and researchers from various racial groups and the inland and coastal split. You'll soon agree with me that research in this country is very skewed. So, Professor Jita and your faculty, I think the days of solely focusing on the ratings and the university rankings are over. We need to come closer to the challenges in our society, in our communities, and start promoting sharing and integratedness, and look for a dynamic way in which we can transform the research capacity of this country. It's an area that will appear not urgent, but if we continued like this for decades, we would have caused a lot of damage. So we need more of cross-university research. We need more of cross-language research than competitions among universities and researchers. Hopefully we'll start seeing more publications between, from the University of Free State together with some academics from the University of Venda, and so on and so forth, because that's the kind of society we want to build. The third big challenge I want to share with you, and which is going to hit you and should be hitting each one of us sitting in this room, is the reading challenge. So at the end of 2017, there was an international comparative reading study called PEARLS, which confirmed that our young people at grade 5, about over 85% of our young people at grade 5 can't read with meaning. So, I observed the happenings, and it was a cause for excitement amongst a lot of academics that thought they have something new to quote. It's good. We must use evidence. But it is not just the evidence of how badly we're doing. It's the solutions to the problems that this country is facing. And let me tell you that the reading challenge actually goes way beyond the classroom. The reading challenge is in the school as a whole, the reading challenge is in the home, the reading challenge is in communities. In fact, reading is the bedrock of any form of dynamism in society. It is the bedrock is the basis on which we advance innovation, and it is the bedrock of the very democracy that changed things for good in this country. South Africans, unfortunately, do not read enough. And I'm not talking about just learners who can't read with meaning. I'm talking about mothers at home. I'm talking about fathers at home. I'm talking about teachers. I'm talking about their principals. And I'm talking about the men in the street. And I will haste to say that even academics don't read enough for pleasure. I'm not talking about reading journals and publication, reading for pleasure, so that the next conversation you have with your neighbor, with your child, with your colleagues are evidence-based, they make our conversations richer, and they help us sustain the democracy. Therefore, the levels of the evidence base and the depth of the conversations in this country are weak. We at the NECT, the National Education Collaboration Trust, have recently launched the National Reading Coalition, where we're mobilizing state and civil society interactions to improve the full value chain of reading. This includes how we prepare our teachers to teach reading. So in many cases, we will prepare our teachers to teach reading in African languages, but teach them in English, isn't it? Which is wrong. We can't teach African languages effectively if we continue to prepare the African language teachers in another language. It just doesn't make sense. It's not just a challenge that faces the administration. It's a challenge that faces researchers to find ways and means in which we can prepare, teachers to teach in our African languages. So that's the first area, teacher preparation. The second area, it's continuing professional development. So this pertains to the 433,000 teachers who are in the employ of the education system, access to reading resources. So there's a big challenge with the availability and access of the reading resources, particularly in African languages. The situation is so bad that even those who write don't find commercial or financial incentives to invest more into writing books in African languages. Even more interesting, a greater proportion of the publishers of African reading material aren't themselves the speakers of the language. So these are some of the structural things that we have to change. But even more, at a basic level, each parent must find it appropriate to buy their kids a book as a gift, rather than just merely a toy. Reading must become an important activity in this community. The third is, of course, improving community activities relating to reading, followed by policy and research, which is the main concern of an academic institution such as this. In support of this initiative, the state president, President Ramaphosa, will be launching his reading club, wherein he calls each and every South African to read no less than 12 books a year. Just 12 books. Apparently, if you're a good reader, you should be reading about 40 books a year. And I'm not talking about reading for publication. I'm talking about reading for leisure. If I had time, I will turn around and ask Professor van Staden to find out what she is reading at the moment. Because reading should be the concern of each one of us, and particularly the enlightened. So, ladies and gentlemen, Vice Chancellor, Program Director, I want to conclude with a challenge that is based on a hypothesis that if we understood and played our roles well as the various sectors of this South African society, that is the state, civil society, and whether you're from a church or a synagogue or an NGO or a university or business, I contend that if we understood what our roles are in society, and if we played those roles, we as South Africans and South Africa would not have experienced state capture. It all happened because we were caught unaware, we were caught unengaged, we were caught unprepared, and we may still be unprepared to halt this or reverse the effects of state capture. Therefore, I propose that intellectual engagements about the role of the state and therefore the implications that that understanding has on civil society in its plurality should be the business of every university student, academics, practitioners, whether you are from the education faculty or engineering. I do not have a PhD. If I did, and if I was a vice chancellor, none of my students would leave the university without studying, debating, and finding their position about the role of the state. Because if we don't understand the role of the state, and therefore the role of the other stakeholder groups in society, we stand the chance of being captured, having a captured state once more. So with these thoughts, I wish all the graduates well into their new professions, and may you go and have a fulfilled life and economically gainful futures. Thank you very much.
The Acting Vice Chancellor, the message that Mr. Kosa has shared with us as the graduates, but also parents, families, supporters, loved ones, is that education is very important for the development of our society, and reading is a bedrock of that important endeavor. I would like, after that, to request you to give him another round of applause. Thank you very much. The wise words have reached our heads. But sometimes to make meaning of life, it's not just our heads that must be, or the thirst in our heads that must be quenched. It's also the thirst in our hearts that must hear the music as it's played to us. Today, I'd like to introduce Born in Benoni, which is Pops Muhammad's song, or Pops Muhammad's career in music that came as a result of an early exposure to music icons such as Abdullah Ibrahim, Kipi Mwekezi, and he's known as the Minister of Music and often celebrated globally for a vast range of musical styles and genres that he plays. To perform Kalamazoo, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Naledi Dweba, who will be accompanied by Andres Mosted on a saxophone, Wayne Lowe on a keyboard, and the graduation instrumental ensemble under the direction of Anton Esther Hayes. Thank you very much. We look forward to your music. Wasn't that electrifying? If I had a choice, I'd have called them again. But if I did that, then we would not do well in the processes that we have to engage. So as I said earlier on, they have fed our hearts. And before I ask the Dean to come to the podium, I'd like you to give them a resounding applause, and if you could stand, it would make sense. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anton, it would seem to me that music is not only the invitation to our souls, to feel, to imagine, and to enrich our happiness. But it also creates a sense of cohesion when you see us in South Africa celebrating together the talent that's available in our country and celebrating Pops Mohammed through this item is one of those invitations to recognize talent within South Africa. And the Dean of the Faculty of Education, Professor Jita, may you please come and present your candidates. Thank you very much.
Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the privilege of requesting you to award certificates and diplomas to the candidates that I introduced to you. For the postgraduate certificate in education, further education and training phase. Tiliwe LZ. Clift I and the certificate with distinction. Deke LBT. Dingo NN. Dondolo Z and the certificate with distinction. Dutoy J. Ingle DF and the certificate with distinction. Karedi TM. Keswa NJ. KPC. Kodisang OT. Larray JV. Congratulations. Thank you. Mabele CF and the certificate with distinction. Mabeta M. Majadibodu PK. Majongolo ZB. Congratulations. Maketa KG. Makofula CN. Maponya FR. Thank you. Masilo MLM. Thank you. Masilo MPR. Masokas S and the certificate with distinction. Mawasha K. Mkunu TS. McPherson B. Mdlalose HMB. Thank you. Thank you. Mudikeng KA. Mufukeng MR. Mukhamisa MF and the certificate with distinction. Mukube OK. Thank you. Thank you. Mulatsedi PP. Muliko SE. Munatlale PC. Mus SP and the certificate with distinction. Murake KP. Museu LV. Thank you. Mos KK. Thank you. Mutaung FL. Thank you. Mutiche ME. Mutlokwa PR. Mutswening MG. Mpiti ZR and the certificate with distinction. Mugeri P. Muller Z. Maybeck C. Nama Z H and the certificate with distinction. Ngogazi D.O. Thank you. Ngoma P.J. and the certificate with distinction. Lokasi N.W. Ndebele P. Thank you. Thank you. Osthoff M. Thank you. Palane J.B. Polu M.P. Thank you. Is it Khangaza? Khangaza P. Thank you. Rapapa J.M. Ru E. and the certificate with distinction. Sibokolodi G. Sibutelo LP. Sihlabo RV. Seitisho L. Sikotlo DR. Sizane EG. Sneyman S. and the certificate with distinction. Somtseu LL. Congratulations. Stallenberg JC. Supi B. Chabalala SL. Tsukudu PJ. Eidelder C. Van Aert L. Van der Merwe AC and the certificate with distinction. Van Eden M. Van Jasveld D and the certificate with distinction. Van Sale C and the certificate with distinction. Fente M and the certificate with distinction. Zubane TE. For the postgraduate diploma in curriculum studies, Thank you. Bus N. Thank you. Dutoy M. Thank you. Lycia K.M. and the diploma with distinction. Madumise M. Makai P.S. Makuru B.E. and the diploma with distinction. Mashia N.J. Mukoni T.A. Mulibeledi T.H. Munosi M.S. Musibo A. Mtagati T. Thank you. Teko M.B. Teko. Thank you. Teko M. Tepe KJ. Tiu TF. Thank you. Twaedi T. For the postgraduate diploma in education policy. Danti M.M. Fubane T.E. Matkwabikane L. Mutsitsi T. Nosi K.E. For the postgraduate diploma in higher education. Thank you. Mureng O.T. Nkuta M.D. For the postgraduate diploma in life and counseling skills. Thank you. Hansel B. Tau E.M. Tele N. Chaka S. For the postgraduate diploma in mathematics education. Congratulations. Klute GJ and the diploma with distinction. Khaunwe TA. Thank you. Songwane MM. Makulumakwe KMG. Mutlale FI and the diploma with distinction. Musi S. Ngema M. Thank you. Oliphant LDJ. Ramate JM. Tamanyane T. Thank you. Tamai MT. For the postgraduate diploma in school leadership and management. Biekes GN and the diploma with distinction. Low DC and the diploma with distinction. Matlala L. Thank you. May HL and the diploma with distinction. Mueti OM. Moketi AM. Musuli MY. Mzila SP. Pretorius T. Sibicho MT. Sebotsa GG. Sesedinyana NI. Sisinyi TW. Swanepoel MA. Tilo MC. Thank you. Van Eden S. Van Straten S. Madam Acting Vice-Chancellor, I have the privilege of requesting you to confer degrees on the candidates that I introduced to you. For the Bachelor of Education in Foundation Phase Teaching. Thank you. Thank you. Aris LCT. Blau C. Diacher HC. De Villiers E and the degree with distinction. Engelbrecht L. Fourie S. Gansevoort MM. Goliath EV. Thank you. What's it? How do you? Consalvish FV. Thank you. Greiling F. Griesel JF. Goring JJ. Kellerman AJ. Kleinhans D and the degree with distinction. Kritzinger J. Thank you. Labuschagne L. Thank you. Lamula SMS. Lifete JL. Maja PM. Manche MM. Masiteng L. Mate EK. Thank you. Mavimbela N. Thank you. Mentor NKK. Mayor A. Thank you. Mayors SR and the degree with distinction. Minar MGA. Mope SS. Mgomezulu NZ. Muhlakane NL. Thank you. Muhotsi NE. Musase NE. Mutsabi EK. Thank you. Thank you. Mpirime R. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Maybeck C. Maybeck M. Ngokwane T. Sorry. What is that? Ntabeni NR. Nseu S. Pelsa S. Porotwane L and the degree with distinction. Ramoroa SD. Rampile R. Sorry, Rampile L. Ross CJ. Okay, let's give them some time. Thank you. Rothna J and the degree with distinction. Skete HC. Sibeko J. Slater A. Smarts J and the degree with distinction. Steenkamp S. Okay. Stein M. Sutherland Z. Congratulations. Sonepool A and the degree with distinction. Fanemeves C. Thank you. Fanemeve S and the degree with distinction. Van der Walt L. Van Heerden C and the degree with distinction. Van Pletsen L. Van Rooyen L. Venter K. Vermeulen M. Visser M, and the degree with distinction. Vice M. For the Bachelor of Education in Further Education and Training, Phase Teaching. Becker N. Borrington CT. Kulan DJ. Dibier TF. Thank you. Zai O. Thank you. Fasten HW. Thank you. Jagiano M. Havenga M. Kuzeka ZP. Korler YM. Dinkwe MD. Lesige ME. Thank you. Mabote CM. Madinga M. Matli DP. Michau TDM. Mkabela SZ. Mudibola SE. How do you spell it? How do you say it? Okay. Monarchie LA. Netling CC. Ngabi LG. Nyati NT. Peterson RE. Post BS and the degree with distinction. Siakamuriri T. Shata RML. Chaka, C. Okay, thank you. Fesser, C. Thank you. Zingitwa, MCTN. For the Bachelor of Education in Intermediate Phase Teaching. Bernard CP. Thank you. Beleng PM. Bezedenhout MM and the degree with distinction. Blom JS. Boysons BC. Bochards TJ. Botsane N. Bretts B and the degree with distinction. Brainers C. Thank you. Brewer AF. Klassen M. Thank you. Klute J.A. Kutzer L. Thank you. Collins J. Crows, color, and the degree with distinction. Daniels, E.E. Thank you. Dlamini, M.S. Thank you. Dlamini, N.P. Duplessis, L. Hello. Duplessis, N.G. Zimba, N.T. Erasmus, C. Fanny, S.N. Leadership. Focase, T. Fortain, C.E. Thank you. Fortain, S.A.E. Frolic, T. Thank you. Khalawe, B.F. Koba, N.C. Haynes PWN. Shachwayo SG. Thank you. Thank you. Songwane NP. Songwane Z. Thank you. Hoso PB. Janssen van Rensburg M. Yankees ED. Yankees ML. Jochet GR. Thank you. Johannes JR. Thank you. Cup LK. Thank you. Koza RSK and the degree with distinction. Krill HC. Thank you. Leroux NA. Libudi OM. Linda JG. Low A and the degree with distinction. Lutuli SNL and the degree with distinction. Thank you. Mashalela CI. Mashangu GL. Marais M. Marseille S. Martin CC. Mashia TI and the degree with distinction. Maswabi BP. Thank you. Thank you. Maya ZV. Mbata SP. Okay. Melin HJ. It's hot here. Okay. Mentz M. Thank you. Merkel DE. Mimba A. Thank you. Mkhize J. Thank you. Mlambo MG. Thank you. Mlambo NZ. Mufukeng MT. Mufukeng RR. Mufukeng S. Yo. Mushakwana KP. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mukatsane BD. Mokati M and the degree with distinction. Mokhatla SF. Mukwena MG. Mukwena TA. Thank you. Muko NPNT and the degree with distinction. Mulatsedi L. Mulite MG. Munyake MR. Thank you. Murema MM. Murokane OO. Musete TP. Musikidi RD. Mutsweneng KB. Mjali NK. Mutsweni PN. Mvelase M. Thank you. Ndauni A. Congratulations. Ndweni KJ. Nel NR. Ngobese AT. Oh. Ngobese NN. Nhlapo NI. Nkala SV. Nkuna LTV. Okay. Newell NC. Norki MG. Thank you. Ndeta L. Peterson MK. Perane LM. Glikis TC. Thank you. Pot ML. Sorry. Okay, thank you. Pretorius C. Thank you. Prinsloo M. and the degree with distinction. Rademan ML. Robertson C. Schippers J. Schoeman J. Scriven N. Sibaka MD. Sek SR. Shebe BJ. Simons KAT. Smith RM. Smithis N. Snyders V. Stradom I. Swart C. Talib L.O. Thomas K. Chirumbi N. Chirumbi U. Topkin J.J. Tseko G. Look nice. Valashia N.L. Vanemeve L. Van Voore J.J. Graad met loof, the degree with distinction. Van Wyk C. Van Zyl R.C. Vanyaza L.P. Felsman A. Vermeulen C. Wansbury N.I. Thank you. Vice G.M.C. Thank you. Aba N.T. Kame Sinazo. For the Bachelor of Education in Preschool and Foundation Phase Teaching. Thank you. Boyson E.M. Domvulo K.M. Halgrein L.M. Hendricks H.S. Kopi G.N. Mayberg M. Ramojo K. Reed C. Swart N. Van Wyk I. Thank you. Felsman E. Thank you. Viljoen B.W. Yeah, I can. For the Bachelor of Education in Senior Phase and Further Education and Training Teaching. Bester L. Thank you. Biekes A.F. Thank you. Biekes C.A.J. Thank you. Bok K. Buotha C. Brink B.C. Christy L.A. Klute J.E. Kotsie L. Kotsie C. Thank you. De Koker I.E. Dix T.T. Erasmus, L. Erasmus, S. Freidberg, ZL. Genge, TF. Geyer, L. Gous, M. Hermanus, C. Hesselman, S. Hefke, SC. Thank you. Gianne, M. Kleinans, J. Kok, A. M. Koopman, D. A. Lanning, J. And the degree with distinction, Graad met lof. Liokauke, M. J. Liebenbeck, S. Graad met lof and the degree with distinction. Linde, M. L. Mabe, M. A. Majuang, S. A. S. J. Thank you. Machola, N.A. Malupe, G.M. Maray, A.S. Masango, M.M. Mashicho, T.R. Mate, K. Mbuli, L.J. Mufukeng, M.B. Mokopi, M. Thank you. Wait. Thank you. Mukwena, N.P. Muloi, T.V. Muntwedi, M.J. Moody, C. Mutaringwana, K.E. Mpedi LKJ. Baba. Mudala JS. Thank you. Thank you. Mvelase S. Thank you. Thank you. Nachel C. Ndlovu NN. Ngwane SA. Nkwanyana YL. Thank you. Nonyane KD and the degree with distinction. Olafse B. Thank you. Otto LM. Phillips CD. Potgieter EH. Pretorius S. It's Puran. Puran A. Thank you. Ramungalo KN. Thank you. Rembuluani D. Skippers E. Scott V. Sitai SRP and the degree with distinction. Smith M. Sneyman N. Sokulu TT. Soyikwe L. Tulo KT. Titus RN. Van der Linde J. Thank you. Van der Walt HS, graad met lof and the degree with distinction. Van Sassi MS. Thank you. Van Wyk E.L. Thank you. Van Wyk W. Thank you. Van Zyl E. Fenter J. Thank you. Fenter L and the degree with distinction, graad met lof. Forster C. Foster N. Wiepener E.M. graad met lof and the degree with distinction. Valentine J.S. Zikalala N.N. Oh, is that the Dean's Medal? Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I have the privilege of requesting you to present the Dean's Medal to the recipient that I introduce to you. Having obtained, thank you. Having obtained a Bachelor of Education Foundation Phase Teaching, she is also the student who achieved the best overall result in respect of a first degree in the Faculty of Education during 2018 period. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, I present Stephanie van der Merwe.
Well done. Graduates, congratulations. I think it has to, let's give them a big applause, to all of them. I think you will agree with me that your achievements would not have been possible today without your parents, without your guardians, without your family, friends, and that your achievements could not have been here today if it was not for them. Therefore, I would like you to lift yourself, make eye contact with your loved one in the audience, and shout your appreciation. And then our academics, sitting on the platform down here on my right, as well as on my left, their input, not only in teaching content, but also mentoring, emotional support during your studies. Shout your appreciation. Academics are usually the brain trust of any university. Often the quality of a university is measured on the quality of their academics. I personally would like to thank each and every academic sitting here today and those that's not here for your contributions in the future lives that you had of these graduates. Thank you very much. But the university not only consists of academic staff, our support staff is double the number of our academic staff. They are often in the background, but they are responsible for various tasks like protection, keeping you safe. Our registrar's office, the registration, examinations and graduation, student affairs, communication. Can I have a hand of applause for those people as well? Graduate, now that you have graduated, you become an alumni of this institution. And you join the elite group of the convocation, which is about 130,000 people strong. So the convocation is the continuity between the past, the present, and the future. And one of the tasks of a convocation is to elect the Chancellor of the university, which is currently Dr. Kotso Mokele. Please, graduates, this is not goodbye. Keep in contact with your university, keep up to date with what's happening, and contribute, not only emotionally, financially, and keep this university always close at your heart. Again, congratulations, go out there, be the future teacher that you want to be, and make us proud. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the proceedings of this afternoon. The university takes great pleasure in inviting all graduates and the guests to the EXR4 to the east of this venue, where tea, coffee, and juice will be served. Jani Marie, accompanied by the graduation instrumental assembly under direction of Anton Esterhuizer, will shortly lead us in the singing of the national anthem. After that, you are requested to remain standing while the congregation is dissolved and the main and academic procession leave the hall. Please rise. By the virtue of the power vested in me as acting Rector and Vice-Chancellor, I hereby dissolve this congregation of the University of the Free State.